JA is the chairman of the Standing Committee for Infrastructure, Transport and Cities. I thought we'd have a quick word with him on two important issues. He joins us tonight. JA, good evening. Thank you for your time. High-speed rail, is that a goer?
Well, yes, it is, when it's looked in the right context. If you're thinking that it's just transport from Melbourne to Sydney, it doesn't pay its way with ticket sales. But if you look at it as a way of strategically decentralising and raising our regions so that they are within a commute distance of our major urban areas, then it definitely is a goer.
So you're saying link regional towns to major cities via high-speed rail and you'll create affordable housing, so an easy commuting time. So, for example, someone could go from Goulburn to Sydney in 35 minutes and live in Goulburn, cheaper housing.
Exactly the case. So we know that our major cities are suffering congestion. We know that our major cities, Melbourne and Sydney, are amongst the most expensive in the world. So it actually sets up the perfect storm of opportunity to strategically decentralise and create more affordable housing that is in a commutable distance because of faster rail and high-speed rail.
Absolutely. Now, you talk value capture. I'll come to that in a moment. You presented a report from your committee in February 2017, and its major recommendation was this value capture. And the point is that I think you said a $390 million upgrade for the Sunshine Coast rail network, or $1 billion to improve the M1 between Brisbane and the Gold Coast, that's going to improve the value of housing, for example, along those routes. And then who is going to get the benefit of that improvement? The house goes from 400,000 to 600,000 because it's got a fantastic transport amenity next to it. That's your point, isn't it?
Well, it's far more than that, Alan. In the inquiry, Harnessing Value Delivering Infrastructure in 2015, we looked at a lot of evidence from around Castle Hill train station where people were fortunate enough to be able to sell their houses for 20 and 30 and even 40 times the current value because of the fellow taxpayer investing in the metro rail there. But there was no share of that uplift for the taxpayer's investment. And that's the mistake that's been made for well over 100 years. Governments invest money in infrastructure, but don't seek to gain any share of the uplift of the value that's created. We warned that this was a problem. We warned at the time that we should be looking at putting in a mechanism before further infrastructure projects are announced. And the current inquiry, Financing Faster Rail, which was authorised by Scott Morrison, has told us some terrible things regarding the uplift of value of land around Badgerys Creek through the massive infrastructure expenditure that's going on there. One investor had invested something like $3.5 million and seen an uplift of the value of that land to over $500 million. So the problem is compounding and we need to do something about it.
Does anyone in the federal cabinet, your party, understand this?
Well, we have taken the evidence. We'll deliver the paper in late November or early December, and it will make it pretty clear because of the evidence from Professor Andrew McNaughton, who essentially said that the uplift around metro stations is quite significant within about a 500-metre range, but the uplift around faster rail to regional areas and high-speed rail is far, far greater and far more dramatic. And so we must, and he emphasised this, we must, before there are any more announcements, secure the base value of the land on which to make a charge. And so at the moment, when we're contemplating over the next 10 years spending $110 billion in faster rail, we must secure that base value on which to make a charge so we can sustainably fund our infrastructure and not make it a burden for our taxpayers now and into the future.
Good on you. Outstanding. Outstanding, JA. Keep at it. Keep at it. We'll keep talking to you. Thanks for your time. Good to see you. There he is, John Alexander, talking sense.